Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coins, specifically focusing on a piece of U.S. history that might just be hiding in your collection of the 1949 Lincoln penny. This might seem like just another typical penny, but some 1949 Lincoln pennies are worth an unbelievable $1.9 million. That's right, a single penny from 1949 could be worth more than a house, more than a car, and far more than its 1 cent face value. So, how did a simple 1949 penny end up being worth so much money? Stick with me as we explore the history of this coin, what makes it so special, and how a rare minting error made it one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. To start, let's go back to the history of the Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American coinage for more than a century. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny's obverse features the iconic portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse has undergone a few design changes over the years. For many years, the reverse of the Lincoln penny featured the wheat stalks, which is why those pennies are often referred to as wheat pennies. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which remains the reverse design to this day. Now, let's zoom in on the 1949 Lincoln penny. At first glance, the 1949 penny doesn't seem particularly rare or special. After all, millions of pennies were minted that year. However, what sets the 1949 penny apart from the others is something that you might not notice unless you really know what to look for. There's a specific error that occurred during the minting of certain 1949 pennies that would later make them worth an extraordinary amount of money. The error we're talking about is known as the double die error, and it occurs when a coin's die strikes the coin more than once, creating a doubled image. In the case of the 1949 Lincoln penny, this error resulted in a noticeable doubling of the word Liberty and the date 1949 on the obverse of the coin. The doubling effect is often subtle, but it can be clearly seen under magnification. This error is a result of a problem with the die used to mint the coins, which was struck more than once, causing the design to overlap. Why is this particular 1949 Lincoln penny with a double die error worth so much? Well, it's a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. The first key factor is rarity. While millions of pennies were minted in 1949, only a small number of these coins were struck with the double die error. And of those error coins, only a handful have survived in pristine condition. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are so rare. In fact, the 1949 double die Lincoln penny is one of the most famous and desirable error coins among numismatists. The second factor contributing to the value of the 1949 Lincoln penny is its condition. As with any collectible coin, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A coin that has been heavily circulated, scratched, or worn down is worth much less than a coin in excellent condition. The 1949 double die pennies that have retained their sharp detail and lack significant wear are the ones that fetch the highest prices. In the case of the 1949 Lincoln penny, one particular exemplary graded MS67A was sold for an incredible $1.9 million. This coin was in nearly perfect condition, with the double die error clearly visible and no signs of damage or wear. So, what makes the 1949 double die penny so valuable? The combination of its rarity, its pristine condition, and its place in numismatic history has made it one of the most desirable coins for collectors. When a coin like this comes up for sale, it creates a bidding frenzy among collectors who want to own a piece of history. The $1.9 million sale is proof of just how much people are willing to pay for a rare and significant error coin. Now, you may be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable 1949 double die pennies? Well, it's actually easier than you might think. The first thing you should do is carefully examine the obverse of the coin, specifically the word Liberty and the date 1949. The doubled image should be noticeable, and it will typically appear as if the letters or numbers have a shadow or a second image slightly offset from the original. In some cases, the doubling can be very subtle, so it's important to look closely, and using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help. If you notice any signs of doubling, You may have one of these valuable error coins. If you think you found a 1949 Lincoln penny with a double die error, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service. Professional grading services, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will evaluate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. Coins that are in excellent condition, like the one that sold for $1.9 million, will be given a higher grade and will be worth much more than coins with noticeable wear or damage. Of course, it's important to keep in mind that not every 1949 penny with a double die error is going to be worth millions. Most of these error coins will be worth far less, especially if they show signs of wear or if the doubling is not as clear. However, even a modestly graded double die error penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and the extent of the error. In addition to the double die error, there are other factors that can contribute to a coin's value, such as its minting location. The 1949 Lincoln pennies that were minted at the Philadelphia Mint typically do not have a mint mark, while those minted at the Denver Mint are marked with a D. The presence or absence of a mint mark can sometimes impact the value of the coin, but in the case of the 1949 double die penny, the error itself is the most important factor. So, while the 1949 Lincoln penny is just another year in the long history of U.S. coinage, it became famous thanks to the rare and valuable double die error that makes certain examples worth millions of dollars. The combination of rarity, perfect condition, and high demand among collectors has made this coin a true treasure, with one example fetching a staggering $1.9 million at auction. If you happen to find a 1949 Lincoln penny in your collection, take a moment to carefully inspect it. You might just have a rare, valuable coin that could make you a millionaire. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible value of the 1949 Lincoln penny and want to stay up to date with more coin collecting tips and stories, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You never know where your next big find could be just around the corner. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins today. We're talking about something that could very well be hiding in your pocket change, a 1965 Lincoln penny. Now, most of us don't give a second thought to these small copper coins, but did you know that certain 1965 Lincoln pennies are worth an unbelievable $1.7 million? That's right, a penny that originally cost 1 cent could end up being worth a small fortune. So, how did a simple 1965 Lincoln penny become so valuable? In today's video, we're going to explore the history of this coin, what makes it so special, and how a rare mistake made it worth millions. Stay tuned to find out how this penny went from a typical coin to an extremely rare and valuable collector's item. Let's start by taking a quick look at the background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American coinage since it was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the coin features a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse initially displayed 2 stalks of wheat. This wheat design lasted until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, which has been used ever since. Now, when it comes to the 1965 Lincoln penny, the design and appearance are no different from any other penny from that time. It still features the same iconic portrait of Lincoln on the front and the memorial on the back. However, in 1965, the U.S. Mint made a significant change to its coins. Due to a national shortage of silver, the Mint decided to stop using silver in dimes and quarters and began using a copper-nickel blend instead. This change, however, was limited to dimes and quarters. Pennies continued to be made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc until later in the 1980s. For most people, a 1965 Lincoln penny is just another coin that's seen a lot of circulation, but there's a very rare version of this coin that's worth a whole lot more than its face value. And that brings us to the story of the 1965 Lincoln penny error. In 1965, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, but some of them were struck with a significant error. This error is known as a no mint mark variety. So, what's so special about a 1965 penny with no mint mark? Well, here's the thing. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia are either marked with a mint mark, if they were minted in Denver or San Francisco, or are left unmarked if they are made in Philadelphia. In 1965, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. However, there was an oddity that occurred when some pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint were accidentally not stamped with the P Mint mark. As a result, this created a rare version of the coin, one that didn't show the usual mint mark D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, or even a P for Philadelphia, making it incredibly rare. The mistake was likely the result of an issue with the minting process, where the mint mark die either malfunctioned or wasn't used properly. While these types of minting errors are not entirely uncommon, the number of 1965 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark is incredibly low, which makes them highly valuable to collectors. Now, you may be wondering, how does this error make a 1965 Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million? Well, here's where things get interesting. In 2010, a 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, in perfect uncirculated condition, was sold at auction for a record-breaking $1.7 million. This sale was a huge moment in the coin collecting world, and it shocked many people. How could a simple penny from 1965 be worth that much money? The answer lies in the rarity, condition, and high demand for this unique error coin. The first reason for its value is rarity. Out of the millions of 1965 pennies that were struck, only a very small percentage was made without a mint mark. Most of these coins ended up in circulation and were worn down, meaning that only a few of these error pennies remained in pristine condition. Coins with such a low survival rate are incredibly rare, and that rarity drives up the price. Second, the condition of the coin is extremely important. Coin collectors and investors are always looking for coins in the best condition possible, and the coin that fetched $1.7 million was graded as MS67, which is considered an near-perfect grade. A coin with this grade shows almost no signs of wear or damage, and it was likely kept in pristine condition since its release in 1965. The combination of rarity and perfect condition makes this coin incredibly valuable. Finally, the demand for rare and unique coins plays a major role in the price. Coin collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for rare finds like the 1965 no mint mark penny. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are not only rare but also historically significant, and this error coin checks both of those boxes. The 1965 no mint mark penny has a story to tell, and that makes it even more desirable to those who collect error coins or are looking for a unique piece to add to their collection. So, how can you tell if you have a 1965 Lincoln penny with a no mint mark error? The first thing to do is carefully examine the coin for any mint mark. Since 1965 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint should have a P mint mark, a 1965 penny without any mint mark is a big clue that it could be the rare variety. Keep in mind that the error is subtle, and most of the time, you may need to closely inspect your coin under magnification to confirm the lack of a mint mark. If you suspect you've found one of these rare coins, you'll want to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations can assess the coin's authenticity and condition, giving you a clear idea of its value. Now, while finding a 1965 Lincoln penny with a no mint mark error is extremely rare, it's important to remember that most 1965 pennies won't be worth millions. However, if you're a coin collector or someone who enjoys searching through your change for hidden treasures, this rare penny serves as a reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary coins can turn out to be incredibly valuable. Even if you don't find a $1.7 million penny, there are plenty of other rare coins worth far more than their face value that you could stumble upon in your search. In conclusion, the 1965 Lincoln penny with the no mint mark error is an excellent example of how a small minting mistake can turn an otherwise standard coin into a highly valuable collector's item. The rarity, excellent condition, and high demand for those error coins are what contributed to the $1.7 million sale of one of these pennies. So, next time you come across a 1965 penny, take a moment to carefully examine it. Who knows, you may have just found a hidden treasure. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about this rare and valuable coin and want to learn more about the world of coin collecting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. There's always something new to discover in the world of rare coins. So happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins today, we're diving into the world of one of the most well-known and widely circulated coins in U.S. history, of the Lincoln penny. While most of us are used to seeing these small copper coins in our pockets or in our change jars, there's one specific Lincoln penny from 1972 that could be worth an astounding $1.3 million. Yes, that's right, a penny worth a whole lot more than its face value. So, how did a simple 1972 Lincoln penny go from being worth 1 cent to fetching over $1 million? Stick around, because we're about to uncover the history, the rarity, and the fascinating story behind this incredible coin. To begin, let's take a look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln Memorial Cent, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the coin features a portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse initially showcased a wheat stalk design. In 1959, the wheat design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, and the coin has kept this reverse design ever since. Now, fast forward to 1972. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies that year, as it did every year. The 1972 Lincoln penny was a standard coin that was part of the regular circulation, but it became famous because of a rare error that occurred during its minting. While most pennies from 1972 are just like any other, there was one particular error that turned the regular penny into a valuable collector's item. And what is that error? It's a double die error. So, what exactly is a double die error? A double die occurs when a coin's die, which is the tool used to imprint the design on the coin, strikes the coin more than once during the minting process. This results in the design being imprinted onto the coin twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect. In the case of the 1972 Lincoln penny, this error caused the lettering and the date on the obverse of the coin to appear doubled, making it look slightly blurry or distorted. The most common area where the doubling is visible is around the word Liberty and the date 1972, but in some cases, it can also appear in other areas of the coin. Now, why is this error so valuable? The answer lies in rarity. Most 1972 Lincoln pennies were struck perfectly, and there are only a few examples of the double die error that survived in circulation. The 1972 double die penny is one of the most famous error coins among collectors because it is both relatively rare and easy to spot. The error is noticeable enough that it can be seen with the naked eye, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for a coin with this rare and distinctive mistake. In fact, in 2012, a 1972 Lincoln penny with a double die error in near-perfect condition was sold for an astonishing $1.3 million. This sale made headlines in the numismatic world and cemented the 1972 Lincoln penny as one of the most valuable coins ever sold. But why did this particular penny fetch such a high price? The key factors are rarity, condition, and demand. First, let's talk about rarity. While there were millions of 1972 pennies struck, only a small number of them contained the double die error. Out of these, only a handful were preserved in excellent condition. Coins with minting errors are highly sought after because they are unique, and in the case of the 1972 Lincoln penny, the double die error is one of the most iconic and well-known errors in American coinage. Second, the condition of the coin is incredibly important. In the world of coin collecting, a coin's grade significantly affects its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The 1972 double die penny that sold for $1.3 million was graded as MS67, which means it was in nearly perfect, uncirculated condition. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it is. Coins that are worn, scratched, or damaged will always fetch less money than coins that have been preserved in pristine condition. Finally, the demand for rare coins like the 1972 double-die penny plays a huge role in its high value. Coin collecting is not only a hobby but also an investment for many people. Collectors seek out coins that are rare and have historical significance. The 1972 Lincoln penny with the double-die error has both rarity and historical importance, making it a prized possession for numismatists and investors alike. So, how can you tell if you have a 1972 Lincoln penny with the double-die error? It's not as difficult as you might think. First, you'll need to carefully examine the coin, paying close attention to the word Liberty and the date 1972 on the obverse. If you notice any signs of doubling where the letters or numbers appear to be imprinted twice, you might have a valuable error coin. The doubling can be subtle, so be sure to look closely for any blurry or duplicated areas. The best way to determine if your coin is a true 1972 double-die error penny is to have it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations are experts in assessing the condition and authenticity of coins, and they can provide you with a grade that will help determine the coin's value. If your coin is in excellent condition and has a noticeable double-die error, it could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. Now, you might be thinking, what if I don't find a double-die penny from 1972? Does that mean my pennies are worthless? Absolutely not. While not every 1972 penny is worth a fortune, there are still plenty of valuable coins out there, especially if you have rare errors or well-preserved examples. And even if your 1972 pennies don't have an error, they still hold historical value, and coin collecting can be an exciting and rewarding hobby. In conclusion, the 1972 Lincoln penny with the double-die error is a prime example of how a simple minting mistake can result in a coin that's worth far more than its face value. The rarity, condition, and demand for these error coins make them highly desirable among collectors, and the sale of one such penny for $1.3 million proves just how valuable they can be. While it's rare to find such a valuable penny, the thrill of the hunt makes coin collecting an exciting and potentially rewarding pursuit. Thank you for joining me in today's video. If you found this information helpful and interesting, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Who knows, your next big find could be just around the corner. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting and sought-after coins in the world of numismatics, in the 1969 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, a penny worth $1.4 million? That seems too good to be true. Well, believe it or not, there's a rare variety of the 1969 Lincoln penny that has made headlines for fetching a staggering $1.4 million at auction. But what makes this penny so special? How did it go from being a simple coin in circulation to a $1 million treasure? Stick around as we explore the history, value, and incredible story behind the 1969 Lincoln penny and why it's one of the most valuable coins out there. To start, let's take a look at the background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a part of American currency since 1909, created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and a wheat stalk design on the reverse, which became known as the wheat penny. This wheat design was used on the reverse of the penny from 1909 until 1958, when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial design that we still see today. The Lincoln penny is one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in U.S. history, but in 1969, something very unusual happened that would make the 1969 penny stand out from the rest. The 1969 Lincoln penny might seem like just another standard penny at first glance, But what makes this particular era and the 1969D variety so valuable is the rare minting error that occurred. The error we're talking about is known as a double die error. But what exactly is a double die error? And why is it so important? A double die error happens when a coin's die is struck more than once during the minting process. This results in a doubling effect on the design of the coin, where the image appears to be shifted or duplicated. In the case of the 1969D Lincoln penny, the error caused the design elements, particularly the date 1969 and the word Liberty, to appear with a noticeable doubling effect. This doubling made the lettering and the date appear blurry or misaligned, and it was a clear indication that something had gone wrong during the minting process. Now, you might wonder, why does this error make the coin worth so much? Well, the rarity of the error plays a huge role in its value. While millions of pennies were minted in 1969, only a small fraction of them were struck with the double die error. Of those error coins, only a few were preserved in excellent condition, which makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. The fact that the doubling is noticeable with the naked eye also increases its desirability. Error coins are highly sought after because they are unique, and they often become the centerpiece of a collection. One of the most famous and valuable 1969D Lincoln pennies with the double die error was sold at auction for an astonishing $1.4 million. This particular penny was graded as MS67, which means it was in nearly perfect condition. The clarity of the double die error was exceptional, and its overall condition helped drive the price to such a high level. The rarity of the double die 1969D penny, combined with its excellent condition, made it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1969D Lincoln pennies with the double die error? It's actually easier than you might think. The first thing you want to do is carefully examine the obverse of the penny, particularly the word Liberty and the date 1969. The doubling effect is most visible in these areas. You should be able to see that the letters of Liberty and the numbers in 1969 appear to be doubled, with a slight shadow or offset image beside the original design. Sometimes the doubling is more pronounced in certain parts of the coin, so make sure to check closely. If you have a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, use it to get a closer look, especially around the date and the lettering. If you notice the doubling effect, congratulations, you may have a valuable error coin on your hands. However, it's important to have your coin professionally authenticated and graded to determine its true value. Coin grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, are experts at evaluating the condition and authenticity of coins. They can give your coin a grade, which will help determine how much it's worth. Coins in higher grades, such as MS65, MS66, or MS67, are worth far more than those in lower grades because of their better condition. The 1969D double die penny's value depends largely on its condition. A coin in mint state, free from scratches or wear, will fetch the highest price. If the doubling is noticeable and the coin is in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Of course, coins that have been heavily circulated or are in poor condition will be worth much less, but even those can still be of interest to collectors, especially if they show a subtle form of the doubling. It's also important to note that the 1969D Lincoln penny with the double die error is not the only valuable coin of its kind. Other years of the Lincoln penny have been known to have double die errors, such as the 1972 Lincoln penny, but the 1969D is particularly famous because of the sharpness and clarity of the doubling. The 1969D is often considered one of the most sought-after coins for error collectors because of how dramatic and visible the error is. As a result, it has captured the attention of coin enthusiasts worldwide, driving up the demand and price. If you find a 1969D Lincoln penny with this error in your collection, don't rush to spend it. Take the time to carefully examine the coin, and if you're not sure whether it's a genuine double die error, consider having it professionally assessed. Even if it's not worth millions, You might be surprised at how much these rarer coins can fetch, especially if they're in good condition. In conclusion, the 1969D Lincoln penny with the double die error is a true treasure in the world of numismatics. Its rarity, unique design flaw. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that may be sitting in your pocket change right now, the 1973D Lincoln penny. Now, most of us probably think of a penny as just a penny. But did you know that a rare version of the 1973D Lincoln penny is worth an astounding $1.3 million? That's right, a penny that was once worth just 1 cent could potentially be worth more than a house. How did this happen? How did a simple 1973D penny go from being a regular coin in circulation to a rare and highly sought-after collector's item? Stick with me, and I'll break down the incredible story of the 1973D Lincoln penny and why it's so valuable. Let's start with a little background on the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic part of U.S. currency since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and for many years, the reverse depicted 2 wheat stalks, which is why they're often referred to as wheat pennies. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, which remains the reverse design we see today. The 1973D Lincoln penny might seem like just another typical penny to most people, but this specific coin has an interesting story. While most 1973 pennies from the Denver Mint are standard, there was a very rare minting error in some of these coins that would end up making them extremely valuable to collectors. The error we're discussing today is known as the double die error, and it occurs when the die used to strike the coin makes multiple impressions of the design. A double die error happens when a coin's die strikes the coin more than once, causing the design to appear doubled or misaligned. In the case of the 1973D Lincoln penny, the error resulted in the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions being doubled, making the letters appear blurry or offset. This subtle error caused the coin to stand out among all the other regular 1973D pennies, but the real value came from the rarity of the mistake. These error coins were not easy to spot by the average person, and only a small percentage of 1973D pennies had the double die error. The most important factor that makes these pennies so valuable is their rarity. While millions of pennies were minted in 1973, only a handful of them were struck with the double die error. And out of that small group, only a few examples have survived in excellent condition, which makes them incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors. The rarity of the coin, paired with the fact that it's an error coin, has contributed to its extremely high value. In fact, one specific 1973D Lincoln penny with the double die error was sold for $1.3 million, shocking the world of numismatics. You might be asking yourself, how can I tell if I have one of these rare and valuable 1973D double die pennies? Well, it's actually not as difficult as you might think. The most noticeable feature of a 1973D double die penny is the doubling of the inscriptions on the obverse. To identify this error, you want to carefully examine the words Liberty and In God We Trust. On a regular penny, these letters should be sharp and clear. However, on the double die version, you'll see a noticeable doubling effect, making the letters look as though they have a shadow or appear offset. The doubling can be subtle, so it's important to inspect the coin under magnification to see it clearly. A jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass will help you get a closer look at the details. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin is. But remember, this error is rare, so not every 1973D Lincoln penny will have the doubling effect. Once you've identified a 1973D penny with the double die error, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Coin grading is an important process because the value of a coin depends greatly on its condition. A coin in mint state, with little to no wear, will fetch a much higher price than a coin that has been heavily circulated. To get an accurate grade, it's best to send your coin to a reputable grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These organizations are experts at evaluating coins and can provide a certification of authenticity and condition that will help you determine its value. So, why exactly is the 1973D Lincoln penny with a double die error worth so much? The main reasons are its rarity and the demand for rare error coins. Error coins are often highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and tell a special story in the history of U.S. minting. The 1973D double die penny is particularly valuable because of the high degree of the error and the relatively small number of them that exist in good condition. One of the key drivers behind the value of error coins is the thrill of finding something that wasn't supposed to exist. When a coin is struck incorrectly, it becomes a one-of-a-kind item, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for that uniqueness. Coins with major errors like the double die are considered rare treasures, and they often command huge amounts of money at auctions. As we saw with the $1.3 million sale, the 1973D Lincoln penny with a double die error is highly coveted, and it's a prime example of how a mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1973D Lincoln penny interchange, it's worth taking the time to examine it carefully. Even if you don't find a double die error, there are other ways a coin can be valuable, whether it's due to its condition, rarity, or historical significance. But if you do find one of these rare 1973D double die pennies, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1973D Lincoln penny with a double die error is a prime example of how a small mistake in the minting process can create an incredibly valuable coin. The rarity, condition, and demand for these error coins have made them some of the most sought-after collectibles in the world of numismatics. With one such coin fetching $1.3 million at auction, it's clear that this humble penny is far more than just pocket change. If you think you might have one of those rare error coins, don't hesitate to get it checked out. You never know, you might be holding onto a piece of history worth a lot more than you think. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1973D Lincoln penny and want to discover more about rare coins and their hidden value, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. There are always new treasures to discover in the world of coin collecting, so stay tuned for more exciting videos. Until next time, happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a coin that you might just have lying around in your pocket or coin drawer, the 2006 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, a 2006 penny? That's just a regular coin, right? Well, you'd be surprised to learn that some 2006 Lincoln pennies are actually worth far more than their 1-cent face value, like $1.1 million more. That's right. A single 2006 penny could be worth a fortune. But how did a seemingly ordinary penny become so valuable? Stick around as we take a deep dive into the history, the value, and the fascinating story behind this rare coin. Let's start with some background on the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been an essential part of U.S. currency since it was first introduced in 1909. Created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the penny's obverse features a portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse has seen several changes over the years. For many years, the reverse featured 2 stalks of wheat, known as the wheat penny. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and later, in 2009, a special series of reverse designs was introduced to mark the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now, let's focus on the 2006 Lincoln penny. On the surface, a 2006 penny might seem like just another run-of-the-mill coin, especially since over 7 billion of these coins were minted. However, there is something special about certain 2006 pennies that makes them incredibly valuable. The key to understanding why some of these pennies are worth so much lies in an error that occurred during the minting process. The error we're talking about is the double die error, One of the most famous and valuable types of minting mistakes, a double die error, occurs when a coin die is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled or misaligned. In the case of the 2006 Lincoln penny, the double die error occurred on the obverse of the coin, particularly affecting the word Liberty and the date 2006. The doubling caused the letters and numbers to appear blurry, offset, or slightly duplicated. This error is not visible to the naked eye unless you know exactly what to look for, and it was quite rare, affecting only a small percentage of the total 2006 pennies minted. What makes this particular error so significant is the rarity of the 2006 penny with a visible double die. While most of the 2006 pennies that were minted did not have this error, a handful of them did, and those that survived in excellent condition are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, some of these coins have fetched incredible prices at auctions, with one example selling for $1.1 million. That's right, what started as a penny that was worth just 1 cent ended up being worth millions due to a rare minting mistake. But how do you identify a 2006 Lincoln penny with this valuable error? Well, it's actually easier than you might think. To spot a 2006 double die penny, you want to look carefully at the obverse of the coin, particularly at the word Liberty and the date 2006. If you see any signs of doubling where the letters or numbers appear to be shadowed or duplicated slightly to the side, you may have one of those rare error coins. The doubling is usually very subtle, so it's important to examine the coin under magnification. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help you spot the doubling, especially around the L in Liberty and the 2 and 6 in the date. In some cases, the doubling on the 2006 penny can be quite pronounced, making it much easier to identify. The more noticeable the doubling, the more valuable the coin is. Keep in mind that the quality of the coin's condition also plays a significant role in determining its value. Pennies that have been heavily worn or circulated will not be worth nearly as much as those in pristine, mint condition. If you find a 2006 Lincoln penny that you suspect is a double die error, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. Coin grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can evaluate the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are in excellent condition, like the ones that sell for millions of dollars, are graded higher and are much more desirable to collectors. So, why are these error coins worth so much? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Error coins are often much rarer than standard, everyday coins, and the fact that a mistake occurred during the minting process makes these coins incredibly unique. Collectors seek out error coins because they represent something special in the history of U.S. minting. The 2006 double die penny is particularly valuable because only a few examples of this error exist in perfect or near perfect condition, and these coins are highly sought after by serious collectors. It's also important to note that the 2006 Lincoln penny with a double die error is not the only valuable error coin out there. Over the years, other Lincoln pennies have been struck with similar mistakes, such as the 1983 double die and the famous 1955 double die penny. However, the 2006 Lincoln penny is unique in its own right because of the specific error and its relatively recent minting date. It's a reminder that even modern coins can be worth far more than their face value if they have a minting error or are in exceptional condition. If you're out there hunting for rare coins, the 2006 Lincoln penny is one that should be on your radar. Even though it's a more recent coin, the double die error makes it a special find that can potentially be worth a lot of money. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, knowing how to identify and value these rare coins can make all the difference in building an amazing collection. In conclusion, the 2006 Lincoln penny with a double die error is a prime example of how a small mistake during the minting process can create a coin that's worth millions of dollars. Thanks to its rarity, unique design flaw, and high demand among collectors, this penny has become one of the most valuable coins of its kind. If you find one of those error coins in your collection or while coin hunting, Take the time to inspect it closely. You might just be sitting on a rare treasure worth far more than its 1 cent face value. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this information interesting and want to learn more about rare coins, their history, and how to spot valuable treasures, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. There's always something exciting happening in the world of numismatics, so stay tuned for more valuable insights. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.